Hey guys, Eric Grotebois. So this one's a little complicated, okay? So this one involves getting scammed, crypto, IRAs, early withdrawal penalties, and IRS deductions. Okay, so here's what happens. A person is on LinkedIn and they get an unsolicited reach out, right? Like somebody's like, hey, let's talk. Turns out this person was phishing, probably, right? Probably, I only say probably because we don't actually know the truth. But in any case, the innocent party here in the United States gets phished by somebody on LinkedIn, and the person on LinkedIn convinces them of an amazing investment opportunity involving Coinbase and then a secondary exchange, all right? So most people have heard of Coinbase. So Coinbase is where a lot of the crypto trading is done, so you can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and many of the others that exist there. And essentially, it's an exchange to buy and sell. Side note, please save your password somewhere safe and make sure that your family can find it if anything ever happens to you. If you die, Coinbase will never open up your Coinbase account or give your password to anyone else. And there's been stories of people losing literally millions of dollars when a loved one passes away and nobody can find the password. So anyways, this lady sets up a Coinbase account and she puts in $900,000 from her family IRA. Now, what's that mean? She's married. She had access to the account that she had with her husband, okay? Now, mind you, side note, husband had no idea. Husband was not involved in this, and she's totally doing this on her own. So she puts in $900,000 into the Coinbase, buys a bunch of crypto, and then transfers it to this other website. It was called ANE, which I'd never heard of. All right, and then long story short, total investment is about $1.4 million, and it's all gone and lost. And what they find out is that this ANE thing is probably a scam, and it's linked to China, which means the money is out of the United States, it's out of Bank of America, it's out of the United States. So what happens when it all comes to light? Husband freaks out, and they call the FBI. So the FBI leads them to their IC3 website, which you can check it out, Google it, and it's where you can report internet crimes. And so they actually have a 45-minute meeting with FBI agents where they're explaining the whole story, and the FBI tries to help them. It was all done on WhatsApp, which is all encrypted, which means it's very hard to tell who's on the other side. It was also done on LinkedIn, which it turned out it was a fake account, whoever this other person was. It was done through Coinbase, which is also very encrypted. So once the money leaves Bank of America, it goes into Coinbase. And then when it left Coinbase, it went to this place in China. And long story short, the money is probably gone. Now, I'm only in the beginning part of the story, so who knows, maybe something could happen. But at this point, the money's gone, and here's the kicker. So when they took the money out of the IRA, there are what are called early withdrawal penalties if you're younger than 59 and a half years of age, meaning that you're supposed to be saving for retirement into this IRA, and they're penalizing you from taking the money out of there because they want you to save for retirement. They want you, the government wants you to have this money set aside so that then later on when you retire, you actually can live on something. So there is a 10% penalty. Now, this 10% penalty, of course, has exceptions. Usually it's an extreme financial hardship, a medical emergency, something along those lines. But in this case, just investing into a great opportunity of crypto futures, I believe is what it was, crypto futures, that's probably not subject to one of the 10% exceptions. So not only did they take out $1.4 million from their retirement savings, they then are going to have to pay 10% on top of that, which could be close to $140,000 in extra penalty that they're going to have to pay to the government, right? Now, here's the even more kicker. When you take money out of your IRA, that is, generally speaking, money that has not been taxed yet, meaning that when you were working, you could pay into your IRA from your paycheck without having it taxed. So the idea being that you'll be taxed later on in your life when you're presumably at a lower tax bracket. So now all of that money that they took out, not only does it get the 10%, but it's considered ordinary income. So let's just use round numbers. Let's say the lady made $100,000 this year, but she took out $1.4 million from her IRA plus a 10% penalty. She could be looking at almost, $1.6 million in adjusted gross income to the IRS. Now, turns out there's a deduction for theft loss. You can get a deduction for if you get robbed. And so essentially you would have to be able to provide documentation that you were scammed. Now, presumably the police report and the FBI report would be useful, But long story short, this is a terrible situation on many, many levels. And the worst is yet to come, because we're going to get IRS pain, and then maybe an audit, and then maybe they're going to have to hire a tax lawyer 2 years from now. So please be careful, guys. Phishing, but most importantly, too good to be true. If it looks like easy money, if it looks like too good to be true, you're probably getting scammed. So before you do any of that, please think about it. Pick up the phone, give me a call. Eric Rodebois. Thank you.